First live. We're live. We're live. It's our first live.
This is our first live, yes.
So it's exciting. Hello, and thanks for following us. Thanks for commenting. The comments are crazy.
Yep, we really appreciate all the support and the comments. It's really cool. It's really lovely, to have.
It is very cool. Actually, we want to bring that a little bit closer, I think. Just watching a little microphone thing. Hopefully everyone can hear us okay.
Actually, a thumbs up would be quite good, actually, if people can hear us or type in, if that's what we can do here, or a smiley face. Okay, so we've should we just jump in? We've got a question here, actually, and I think this is something on a lot of people's minds, and it is something that we are having comments on this quite a bit, and that's in regards, this is from Russ, and it's just congrats on our decision, which is thanks for that, and just our thoughts about the recent gang events. It was quite interesting, sort of over the weekend when it all happened. We had a whole lot of plans booked to go, and we actually had to stop for a minute and sort of try and work out what it is that what it was that we really wanted to do. We did have to actually think about it, about heading away and going up into the hills and heading down to the beach. But what we have found is that we are sorry, you're going to jump in here.
Okay. Basically what Nicki's trying to say is that, well, we'll give a story, and I think that explains it the best, which is we woke up Saturday morning, we went down the road here, and the main highway back to San Salvador had police blockade across it. We'd already planned to go to the coffee plantation, didn't think anything of it, drove the coastal route instead of the inland route. When we got home, we found out that there had actually been the report about all of the homicides. And so the next day, we were meant to be driving another hour and a half down the coast, and we said, well, is it safe? And our main conclusion was, well, we're going to a high tourist location, and the people that we're going to see they're in a good area. Also, we were going to drive during the day, so we thought that that's going to be reasonably safe. And there's a few precautions that we've read about people doing, which is don't stop for injured animals, don't stop for injured people on the side of the road, just because it could potentially be a setup. And as long as you take these precautions, and a real scary thing is people and animals running across the road when you're driving. Like on the way home, it was starting to get dusk, and we had a dog run across, and Nicki's like, don't hit it, we have to stop. And I'm like, we are not stopping. And I know that sounds horrible, but it's just the reality of what's here, and you have to take those things into consideration because, unfortunately, I'm not going to stop for a dog that I might unfortunately hit. It's not that we think that there definitely will be like somebody in the bushes waiting to jump us. It's just
you. I suppose we have to put our safety first, and it's just one of those rules we've put in place for each other. That we've just said this is what we're going to do when we go driving, and it's we just have to make sure that we take that into place.
So I mean, we've got a strategy when we go out. We make sure we've got enough fuel, we've got a nice reliable car, and we know which way we're going. We know how long we're going to be there for. We know who we're meeting, and we've got a plan to come home. And we make sure our phones are charged. We've always got a phone charger. We have plenty of mobile data, so we can always ring people, use maps, and we've got 2 phones. So local numbers, WhatsApp. WhatsApp data is basically free, so you can just go mental, which is pretty cool.
And plans we've got, it's really good.
And sorry, there was a second part to that question, which was, are you considering buying property at some point?
Yes.
So our strategy is basically, we have come here with the intent to stay long term.
Yes.
Then we're going to rent.
Yes.
And we're going to explore.
And
we're going to find where we want to be, the areas we like, and then our intent is to basically, over the year, find where we want to be and buy something.
And I think there's so much to explore, and we've really got to work out the climates, throughout this year to see what we're wanting. We hear it's, we're going to hit the rainy season. So what is that actually like? Like, what's it like down on the beach? Is it just going to be really hot and muggy and grey and wet? Or, it could be like that in the mountains. So we really need to sort of go in and experience all those different areas so we can sort of see what it is that we like. We're big. We like the sunshine. We like the seawater or any water, really.
Yeah.
It's important for us. So we've just got to go and check it out. But we love trees, and we love, we want to create something where we can, grow our vegetables, have our fruit trees.
Compost.
Compost is a big thing. No, people don't compost here. They
don't. Recycling's not big either.
No.
We come from New Zealand, where a lot of these things are reasonably normal.
Yeah.
The people that we hang out with.
Yeah.
But one of the things that actually surprised me a lot was San Salvador is actually on top of a volcano. And when you look at Central America from a map, you think it's quite narrow and therefore it'll be quite low. But what surprised me was when we drove down from San Salvador to the beach for the first time, how far downhill we traveled. And the air temperature up there is significantly different to down here at the beach.
Yeah.
And that's what we're noticing. When we went to the coffee plant, it was like New Zealand summer. It was awesome. It was a little bit cooler. It wasn't hot and muggy, but it was still very warm. It was awesome.
Yeah. I kind of needed to be in the sunshine there, though. I found like we were sitting in the shade for a bit, and I was going, I'd like to enjoy the sunshine. Freedom Karen would see that how are we going to get citizenship and how we legally plan to stay. So what we're doing at the moment is we did our 3-month tourist visa. 90-day tourist visa. And then from that, they've got this thing called, I think it's called the El Tunco illness. Not that it is an illness, but it is a way that you can then require, without leaving the country, to extend your visa for another 3 months. So there is a process to do that. So we will start that next month. Or at the beginning, what are we? We're in April now. Sorry. So so next week I'll start getting that organised. Then we have already gone and we're working with a lawyer at the moment. Bilingual lawyer. He's really good. And so we're working with him, and he's going to work with us for our year. But we've got a couple of different options. We're looking at setting up a business here, and that's a way you can also get residency. Buying land. So if you invest $100,000 you can in land, you can also get residency. And then there is the whole Bitcoin bond thing that we haven't really explored yet, but it is something that, again,
it's a grey area at the moment. Like, it's a promise of residency, but it hasn't been materialized in terms of a real option yet.
So there are quite a few things there that we are looking at, but we are working with Kalitos, the lawyer, and he's which is great.
Yeah. Go.
Can I say one thing? If anyone is looking at coming over here, one thing I do recommend you do is to actually get your criminal record first before you leave the country, and you have to get it apostilled. And so you need to bring the actual documents and the apostle documents. And so we currently, because we didn't bring those across, so we are currently getting them done in New Zealand at the moment, and we have to get them couried across. So that would be really good to have that here with us, and it would have been done within 45 days. So that would have been great.
So we're only doing the second 90 days of tourist visa extension because New Zealand's taking
21 days.
Yeah, 21 working days to process our documents, and that's and then you still have to courier them, and the postal service here is an unknown for us in terms of timing as well. It could add another week or two onto that. So one option is that to get ahead of the game, organize a lawyer earlier. Basically all we needed was for the basic 1 year application, a copy of our passport, a copy of our driver's license, and then an apostilled criminal record by the local government, which may need to be sent directly to your lawyer.
And then the other thing with that in regards is it does have to be converted to Spanish too. So we're actually paying someone here to get that done through the lawyers. So that's
and it's all jargon, so
Yeah.
You probably want to get a pro to do it.
Yeah. So that's all cool. Having a look at Russ. Oh, we're having a lot of people reach out to us. Oh, sorry, his question was, have we met any other people relocating to El Salvador, and what are their nationalities, lifestyles, any digital nomads? Yes. They've had people from New Zealand. So we've got another New Zealand couple that are actually currently already looking at building their home here. They haven't come over yet. They are due soon, I think.
Yeah.
We're a couple from England
UK.
have just arrived.
They arrived this week.
Yeah, they're here for a couple of weeks before they
check it out.
Check it out.
They've got kids. Some people have got kids. A lot of people have actually got kids, and they're asking, and I can understand that would be quite a concern.
We have Canadians contact us. We have Australians. A German couple. They've just arrived in as well, but they've been in Australia for 2 years. They had to come across, needing to leave Australia due to the regulations Australia have put in on them. So they are also looking at setting up here.
Did we mention Canadians?
Yeah, obviously Canadians.
Canadians,
the Canadians.
UK, New Zealand.
Yeah. And so it's definitely down in Alzonte, the Bitcoin Beach area. There are a lot hanging out there at the moment. I think, they're all heading off to Miami for the Bitcoin conference, but there are a lot of people. That's where a lot of the expats people are staying and looking out.
So, in terms of digital nomads, like one family that's coming, they've got skills that they want to apply locally, and they want to apply those skills locally to foreigners, basically. So they need to be set up in this sort of beach zone of Alzonte and El Tunco, because that's where a lot of the foreign people are, and now the people that are going to pay the rates that they probably need to live here successfully. So, for example, I got a haircut for $2 and I tipped the lady $1. Like this is crazy. We couldn't run a business like that and survive. It just, like, our lifestyle is quite different to the average person.
Yeah. So when you think about it, the average person here earns $300 a month, and it's a completely different type of living style than the Western world is used to living, and it's not something that I don't think I could go to be honest. So it's just different, and it's different, and it's I suppose what we've been brought up and what we're used to doing there. Other questions?
So we've got the D Gons Cons. I'm so very envious of you two being in my beautiful, perfect and imperfect country. Greetings from France for now. To be back in soon to be back in El Salvador.
Actually, we have had French too. There's another French couple due to come shortly, and we've had another French couple contact us as well. So so that your nationalities from all over the place. Data speed. A lot of people ask about this. Where we are, data's great. We haven't really had any trouble. I mean, the only problem is when it rains, we find the power goes out. And so, especially if you have a big storm. So we haven't had a huge amount of rain yet, but that is something. We're coming up to the rainy season, so that's going to be interesting. So I just want to go back to the Gons Cons message there about my perfect and imperfect country. And honestly, every country is perfect and imperfect. New Zealand is perfect and imperfect. That is just the way life is. It's the yin and the yang of the world. And it's all how we embrace that. But data speeds. I mean, that's a massive part of our life. And we're streaming this live. Like, this is awesome. But it's actually, it's pretty good. I mean, our mobile phones are great generally in the areas that we go to. Like, I can record snaps and upload them without any issues. The only thing I would say is it's actually pretty cheap if you can get a house. Like I think it's 60. We're looking at Claro, and it's like 60. We're budgeting $65 a month for 100 megabit speed, which, I mean, crikey, it's we paid 100 New Zealand dollars a month for the best speed, unlimited caps, and that's going to be just a little bit more than that price. So it's good. No issues. The electricity is the only issue or concern. With the rainy season, I have no idea what's going to happen. But
oh well, I just have to take a break from work, or I work on something that doesn't require the net.
Yeah.
Just-
So I mean, that's an unknown yet for us. So
Yeah.
no, which is cool. A lot of people have sort of asked us also about cost of living, and what is the cost of living, and again, that's really it becomes relative in regards to where you plan to live and what you're wanting to do.
Also, your situation. So
Yeah.
we're a couple with no dependents, and our housing, our food, and our transport requirement is very different to somebody who might be coming along. Some people are coming with 2 kids and animals, and their housing requirement is going to be very different to ours.
Yes, yeah, and also when you first come, because you don't bring anything with you, you need something fully furnished. Like we didn't. Seriously, if you've seen our Insta photos or whatever, we had a bag each with our clothes, and then I had a bag.
You had 2 more bags.
I had 2 more bags. Sorry, I have my my wingboard as well as I have a bag of my jewelry.
Nikki actually got 3.5 bags out of 4.
Yeah, you had more clothes.
I do. I weirdly enough, I have more clothes than Nikki does. She bought more equipment than I did.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, we so we needed a fully furnished home, and one of our biggest things is for us is actually also is to have a washing machine. A lot of houses here do not have washing machines. So as soon as you go onto Airbnb and look at house prices, and you say, and you request the things that you want, and washing machine, as soon as you put washing machine,
you'll lose a heap of
you
options.
lose a heap. Yeah. So when we initially first booked our accommodation to come over, we had we thought we were getting a really sweet deal, but we ended up being in a real flatting situation,
which doesn't suit us.
It didn't suit us. We didn't have space to work. We didn't have space to be able to cook properly for ourselves, and just having space is quite important. So
and that's, I mean, once you're here and you can go and look around and get options, there's some really good stuff around.
Yeah.
You just have to have the time and the transportation to go around and do it.
Yeah.
You can do a lot without being a native speaker, but if you can speak Spanish, it will help a heap. Or if you've got someone who can translate for you, it's massive.
Yeah. And it's also the time, your time frame of how long you want to rent a property. So initially for us, we were, because we want to get a feel of the place, we're doing short term. But as soon as we get sorted, it will be a longer term, and that again you can find something a lot cheaper and more affordable.
So if you're coming on your 90-day visa, basically you're probably going to be looking at either renting some sort of long-term hotel situation, or Airbnb will give you an idea of what your cost is going to be. But you can bring that cost down a lot once you can start doing anything from 6 to 12 month contracts.
Yeah.
We've got some more questions, so we'll jump out of the...
Yes. Okay. So we've got, have you met local authorities, please?
Can I do this?
Yes, you can do this anyway.
So have you met local authorities, police, city workers? How are those interactions, and how's your Spanish going? So I want to start with the interactions. One of the things that we had to get used to was when we first arrived, seeing dudes with shotguns all over the place. And these guys are private security who are basically there just to keep the peace. Basically, it's just a signal to ward people off. So, for example, we would go to the supermarket 3 times a week. Maybe we'd walk up the hill and go there. The one day I was standing outside chilling with our groceries while Nikki ran back in to grab something. One of the guards came over and he started practicing his English with me, and it was pretty cool. He was a funny dude. And then as we went each week, he was busy saluting, and I'd salute him back. And they're just cool dudes. Yeah. They're honestly, they're just cool people. They're not aggressive about it. This is just a day job for them. It's so normal. We were talking about it yesterday, that security is a huge employer here.
Huge. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's probably a really low paying job as well. These guys probably get paid minimum wage to stand around with a shotgun, which is probably not good either, all these low paid workers with shotguns. But at the same time, generally they're good dudes. The guys that are at the front of this place, we've built a really good relationship. Like, you know, we have a laugh, we know their names, we're polite, and they enjoy that. They appreciate that.
Yeah, and
It's
they
cool.
and they love you know, one of them loves practicing his English, and we you know practice our Spanish. And that where it comes on to your next part is how's our Spanish going? James is a lot better than I am.
I have strong points, and Nicki has strong points.
Yeah, so we have just started a new class. So it's a 3-week intensive every single day, and they're promising us by the end of it we will be definitely being able to talk a lot better.
As long as we do our homework.
As long as we do our homework in the Mercados and things. So looking forward to that. And it seems very structured and things. Duolingo, yes, it's giving us some really good words and good sentences, but it's not enough.
No.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Duolingo, I've been doing it for about a year on and off. But it's given me a great base in terms of understanding some really simple stuff. But in terms of when we go out on the street, I can hear the odd key word, but they speak really quickly, and that's probably the biggest challenge. Yeah.
Russ, you're asking about families, kids moving there. So yes, we have had interactions. We haven't met any families moving here yet, but James, you've been talking to a lot on Twitter, haven't you, in regards to that? They we're seeming like there seems to be quite a big homeschool system here, but there are American schools too. So there are children going to American schools. I don't know what the cost is there with that.
There's private schools.
Yeah.
So inside tip, jump on the Facebook Expats in El Salvador Facebook group. Those guys can answer crazy questions about places to do, like homeschooling or private schools and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then in regards to the healthcare, so we took out a year's travel insurance for us to cover our healthcare, but we are also going to be doing a signing up and getting insurance as well. One of the big things with that and what made us think about it was when we saw the snake in the garden, we all of a sudden said, "Oh, what's our backup plan here?" Because we were like going,
it was actually with the scorpion when I got stung.
And the scorpion, So we did think we haven't really got a plan here. So I've got some information that I'm working with at the moment just to see what it is. There is something that costs us apparently about $25 a month. So I'm just working through that process now. So it will be something we will talk about later on as well. If you do get private health care, it is supposedly really good. So I think if you don't have it, I mean, with our health insurance, we will go private. We're okay.
You want private.
Yeah. I mean, James went to, when he went to get his $2 haircut, the same salon, I won't say salon, the where he went and got his haircut was also a...
when I do my haircut next time, I'm going to do a little snap of it. It was crazy. Like it was a little, the room was tiny right next to a truck repair shop. And then I sat down in the barber chair and it said, dentist economo in the next room. And I'm like, wow. And like an affordable dentist next door. And then I noticed the truck guys were literally going into the room where the dentistry was happening to, it was their office at the same time. Like I've heard great things that El Salvador dentistry is actually
really cheap
good,
and good
and cheap. And we know a lady who's a dentist here. So, I mean, this is just like a side case, but it was an experience for me in terms of like, whoa, this is what the local people deal with.
Yeah.
Or not deal with, but this is how they live.
How they live, We do find there's a lot of sugar in the foods here.
Massive.
And there are, a lot of children, their dental care, is not so good, it's a shame. It's a real shame.
The services here are great if you can pay for them. There is a upper echelon here in terms of wealth, and they have great services. It's just you have to be able to pay for it, and it's not hard to find if you meet the right people. And networking is important here, especially for us in terms of, and that's something we're building. So going forward in the future, if you've got questions, ask us, and we're meeting people who can help. Absolutely. Freedom Karen, health wise, James and I, we like our food. We love trying different foods. I don't have any problem eating raw fish. I don't
we don't.
First thing she orders, ceviche.
Yeah. One thing is, the water. When we first arrived, you can't drink the water, the tap water. So I was using our bought water to wash everything, wash our veggies, brush our teeth with. There's no, I just wasn't, and it was also kind of the place we're staying in too. But I just didn't feel safe to do that. Now I don't think. I do still wash veggies, especially if it's raw veggies, with our water that we've got through our filter. But brushing our teeth now, I don't.
Yeah.
We just use the tap water. It's fine. So that we did. Yes, we both had 24-hour bug at one point, different times, and it was after we'd eaten seafood. And so whether it
that
was from
possibly
that,
our fault though.
Yeah, true. Well,
it was a logistical issue on my side.
The seafood might have been out in the sunshine a little bit too long, but so we do. That is something that we both had it once, and that's in the 6 weeks. We do hear of people getting quite sick. It hasn't happened to us yet, touch wood. Yeah, so that's one thing. Mosquitoes, when we first arrived, yes, we did have an issue with mosquitoes, and we were quite concerned about it because the room that we were in was just, it was horrible, and we couldn't sleep.
Yeah. Bring a mosquito net just to save yourself the problems. And if you've got a good repellent, do that as well.
Yeah, but then, talking to the locals here, and we're asking about dengue fever. And
dengue fever is not a problem.
And they say, no, it's not a problem. So, we do definitely, we check out. So if we seem to be getting mosquitoes, then we'll check outside and go, have we got any water left sitting still? But we, just the little things like that, just taking, being aware. Yeah.
I mean, during the day, mosquitoes aren't really an issue. It's at night. So if you can, one of the things that, it's case by case. Some places are very well set up because you've got people who are conscious and have money to solve challenges. And then some places are not well set up and you're just going to be like, what the hell? And if you can come with a mosquito net, that's just going to keep you sane, basically. Not all houses have screens over them. Some houses are fully screened and it's amazing. You can leave all the windows open, you can have the fans on so you've got airflow and the bugs won't come in. Other houses, no screens, and you need to have the doors open because the airflow is shocking, but then all the bugs are obviously going to come in. So it's a hit and miss situation.
And Karen, you're also asking about vaccines. So we're not I'm not a big vaccine person, though we did, because we want to travel into other countries. As soon as you get hit, go down to Panama or South America, you need to have your yellow fever vaccine to come back into the country. So we made sure, we in New Zealand got our yellow fever vaccine before we came. And then the other thing we also got was tetanus, just because I'm out in the water and coming in, and we heard that it's really stony, and the beaches weren't very clean, and so that concern of cutting myself beforehand. So
even like this property that we're currently renting, it's brand new, but in the grass we've come across like rusty drill bits and rusty wire and aluminium cuttings off the joinery, which have just been in the grass. And we come out in the grass and bare feet all the time to do our workout and bits and pieces like that. And thankfully we haven't stood on anything, but potentially standing on one of those rusty bits and getting it in your foot, we're just having that peace of mind has been good. And the dengue fever, the main reason we got it was because if we had to leave El Salvador, you need to actually go further than the surrounding countries because they are classed as Central America and they have a pact. So you need to go further than those countries to get your visa renewed if you want to do a visa hop.
Yeah, definitely.
Jorge, thank you very much. It's fun being here. We're really enjoying it. The people are awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And then there was something I missed.
Freedom, Karen, you should get in touch with Expat Mum. Yes, the Expat Mum. We actually saw her at the Bitcoin conference the other day, which was awesome. She was busy doing a selfie. I haven't watched her video. That was quite she's also full of really interesting information. She's got some good stuff on there.
And Russ, COVID-19 vaccines, we're both not vaccinated. We are very much this is why it took us so long to get over to El Salvador, is because we had to find the route that would let us let us travel and get here. So when we arrived, we had no questions. Yes, there's still mask wearing, but that apparently is going to be dropped. We didn't have to get tested, but the people, when we first arrived, they actually wanted us to. So we did go and get, it was just a rapid antigen test. We did get that done, and that's fine. So we were in the air for 40 hours. So it wasn't, we were traveling for 4 days, but we're in the air for 40 hours. And so I get it. There is a little bit of fear with some people.
So so there's a couple of things that I want to throw in there. One is that there's El Salvador's not applying restrictions in terms of COVID-19.
No.
If you get stung with restrictions, which I'm reading questions from people talking about it, it's because they've gone through a country that's applying those restrictions. It's not El Salvador. They don't require them. So when we went through, I think Guatemala, was it that last flight?
Yep.
They had something weird, and we were like, well, here's our documentation, we're fine. And they were like, oh yeah, cool, away you go. So it wasn't El Salvador that was applying it. It was the airline and Guatemala. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? So make sure you plan your trip to avoid the countries that are potentially going to cause problems, or even the airlines that will cause problems.
Yeah. So the travel agents, definitely go through a travel agent there. Yeah. And that's where I'm going to plug in for Key Travel in New Zealand. So if anyone's coming from New Zealand, Key Travel were amazing. She's based up in Auckland, but really, really good. So yeah.
And there was one other thing I wanted to throw on with that, which was the I can't remember what it was. Oh, the mask wearing. Okay, so basically, we're not big mask wearers. So what we find is that when we go to the Mercados and a lot of Bitcoin friendly areas, it's not a thing. No one's going to force it upon you. But when you go to San Salvador and you go into any major complex, they're going to force it upon you. Like the security guards come up and tell you to put a mask on. And apparently that requirement is going to be dropped. I don't know if it was this month or next month. We've heard it was like a rumor, and we need to check. But they are the places that it's being enforced. So what I would say is it's more the wealthy privileged that are enforcing it, and then like the everyday life in El Salvador. So if you're into the everyday life of El Salvador, going to the Mercados and just normal life, it's cool. So we went from one extreme, which was New Zealand, where everybody enforced it like basically it was just crazy. Horrible. And then we've come to this side where everyone's pretty relaxed about it generally. So
and we can go anywhere. Like in New Zealand, we couldn't go to restaurants, we couldn't go and get a coffee, we couldn't go to our dance classes,
even if we complied with wearing a mask. We're told we weren't welcome.
You're not welcome. So
anyway, let's move on from that topic.
We don't want to talk,
we know it's a rough thing, and everyone's got their opinion, and we're not here to tell anyone how to do it.
No, it's just what our choice is. Renee, thank you. We're loving El Salvador. And no, we're excited. El Salvadorans are beautiful people. They want to help you. They want to interact with you. It's just lovely. It's really, really lovely. Like we'll go down to the beach and we'll meet someone, and they're quite happy to chat to you and talk to you. And we've got a guy down here who's, while we're still trying to get a car, he'll contact us every couple of days. Go, do we want some?
He just contacted us now.
Oh, that's do we want some cocoa water, or do we want? Do we need to go anywhere? It's really neat. We're feeling really, loved and supported, and so grateful. It's really, really grateful. It is lovely.
I think sometimes simple people with simple lives just appreciate things. They appreciate smaller things sooner and faster and easier. And it's awesome. Love it.
I know. Have we got any other questions? Have we answered everything? I think we've answered.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. Oh, wow, 26.
Yeah.
Wow, 26.
No,
Thank
really
you.
cool.
And honestly, we appreciate that people tell us that they like the content, the questions. It's awesome. It's actually awesome knowing that some of our just random clips are actually being useful to people, because I'm a massive what is it, Snapchat. Like I love Snapchat. I send a lot of them to my mates and stuff. And what I'm finding is that they're good content to share with you guys as well on YouTube. And I know it's not like a professional quality YouTube video, but it's capturing the moment. So we're enjoying that you guys enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate
we do. We do really appreciate it. It's great. One of the things, cost of living and stuff too, we're going to touch base on in regards to, there's only one or main supermarket here, the chain, the Super Selectos Mercados. Now they do, if you want to come here and eat like a Western lifestyle, you will find that the food will be expensive. You go to the supermarket and anything that's been imported is expensive. Any packaged foods. Well, actually, the wine's not so much, so I must admit. And the beer's okay, but
there's a couple of things. I would say that shopping at Super Selectos is comparable to shopping at home.
Yeah,
it's not that much cheaper.
The one thing I do find is the fruit and veggies seem to not look nearly as nice. So I far sooner go and interact at the Mercados, the local street markets, and get the food from there. And so we have got the great one down in La Libertad.
It's awesome.
And it's
awesome.
Big. You're just constantly walking through streets, and we are going to do a sort of a YouTube on that because it's just so wonderful. And then you go into this sort of like warehouse where it's really narrow, and again through that you've got little people selling little chemist sort of products. You've got again fruit and veggies. You've got grains. You've got cacao beans, coffee beans. So it's just really cool. And then we've actually found a local cheese. There's a couple of cheese places as well in there. And so we've got these great little stalls that we now go and stop off, and we get that. And then there's also in there you can also get all the meats and the fishes as well if you want. We haven't done that yet. We are buying meat from the Super Selectos. And that may be just us being careful. We don't know. We haven't tried it. Fish we buy at the big fish market here. That's fresh. The guys, seriously, there's just hundreds of these little.
Literally see the boats.
Yeah, hundreds of these little boats, and they're buying. And so we got a really nice tuna the other day. Like it's a full tuna. For $10.
The whole tuna. It was.
It
was. I mean, it was a good size. It was a good size fish. $10, and that was filleted. Like the dude filleted it.
Yeah.
And you got the whole thing. Like you got the skeleton if you wanted it. The frame.
If you wanted the head, you can take that up. We sort of we're being
really cool.
Yeah, so it's amazing, and the fish is beautiful. It's so fresh. They're like little what do you call them, king prawns type things. They're a bit expensive, to be honest. But the rest of the fish is really good, and it's tasty.
Yeah,
so it's great.
We got a red snapper this week. It is really good. And what did we pay? We paid $4 a pound. I think it was. Was it $4 a pound?
Yes.
$4 a pound.
Yep.
And that's pretty good. It's a great price, actually. I mean, compared to New Zealand, which is also a fishing nation. And so just on that, New Zealand's very regulated in terms of the food industry, which is understandable. Like we export huge amounts. And here, just seeing people literally like chicken, pork, beef, in open air environments being cut up next to each other, people slapping it with like whips to keep the flies off it. Like this is real here. Like it's not like New Zealand where you're in a sterile, like air conditioned room and everyone's wearing face masks and hair nets. No. It doesn't happen here. No. But that's why we're still buying at the supermarket, because culturally and mentally we haven't got around to
it. Are we going to? Because I'm sure some of the meats, like the chicken and things, could be, really good free range chicken.
It's awesome.
And the tastes will be amazing. So, there's a soup here we haven't even tried yet, which we keep getting told it's incredible. It's a chicken soup. So we're just apparently got to climb the mountain.
Sorry,
to do
something I haven't done.
Yeah. So So no, that's what's happening there. Do you guys feel there's a spiritual side to our venture, Russ? Yes, it's respect. Both James and I are I should really wait till he comes back and answer this. We are aware of what we like and what we the lifestyle we want to create. We have already sort of started dreaming up the home that we're going to build and what's needed. We love, getting up and meditating, and we love being very aware of the foods that we put into our body. And there's, El Salvador is known for this, this amazing sort of connection here. So we are, I think in some ways, yes, I can say yes, but I'll wait for James to answer a bit more on that one. Yeah. And Lorenzo, thank you. Yeah, daily life, daily Bitcoin. Yep, and you love it. Yes, it is. It's fun. Those posts that James is putting up are really good. He's having so much fun doing them and creating them. It's really neat for him to be able to just do these little quick Snapchats on what he's up to and what's going on for him. And Bitcoin is a big part of James's life, so it's really good. Yeah. What other things have we got? Food, transport. Another cost of living. Transport. When we're looking at buses, if you want to bus, like everyone's telling us, it's quite dangerous here to bus and not to bus. Now down the road here, the buses are amazing. They're so colourful when they, the wheels are being pumped up, and you've got, so the buses are, really high at the front and really low at the back, or what have you. There's quite often music playing from them. They're all got different colours and things, and so we do sometimes catch the bus down to La Libertad to the markets. It costs us 25 cents to go down there. You've got people hopping on and off. The doors, half the time the doors are open. The bus just slows down and they can jump off. And they also have got people coming up and selling their wares. So when the buses stop, you'll get someone trying to sell coconut water or mangoes or pineapple or what have you. And so it's a fun experience. And there's a lot of joy in the buses. Like, I don't ever feel scared in being in the bus. The first time we took one, it was, we were quite nervous, and it was because we couldn't get any other transport. But since we took the first bus drive, it's never been a problem there. And then Uber, and when in San Salvador, Ubers are cheap, so it's about $3 for an Uber. Again, we were sort of warned about Ubers, but we just make sure that before we took an Uber, we would check the guy's stats or the person's stats, and just made sure that they've done a lot of drives and they've got a high ranking. So that was just something that we made sure we did. Coming down, doing the big trip down from San Salvador down to the beach, we actually, someone referred somebody, and so again, using connections there. Where are we going? Freedom, Karen, can you confirm, are we going to leave the country with new tourist visas? No, we're not. No, so there is, as I said, there's this, you can actually extend for another 3 months without leaving the country. So it's a very simple process. It's about 10 days before your visa is due to run out. You need to go to one of the ministries with your visa. You need to have a ticket out of the country in 3 months' time. You need to also have somebody with you that can verify who you are and information on where you're staying. So, so that's what we will be doing, because our long-term visa won't be through before then because of the hold up in New Zealand. So, yeah. Have you been listening to Love Your Country? Oh, thank you, Mauricio. I hope I've pronounced that right. Yes, your country's lovely. And, before we left New Zealand, we had a lot of fear put into us. Like, everyone was going, what are you doing? Why are you going there? It's murder capital of the world and stuff. And every country has got its bad areas, and it is about being smart on where we go. And we're just so grateful we've come and made this trip. It's lovely. I keep saying this, but it is beautiful. A beautiful place to be. Beautiful people. Hi, Linda. Say hello to you. Rob, do you guys have hot water system where you live? Because I know 90% of the homes don't have it. Due to always being a hot climate after living in Australia, I hate cold showers. Yes. Oh, okay. So we don't have. Oh, we do have hot water here, but we never ever use it. So we absolutely because the water is actually warm, because of the way it's plumbed. We find that we don't. Yeah, we don't need the hot water. It is so hot. It's nice to actually have the showers, but they're actually lukewarm anyway, so we find we're okay with that. So it's all right. CF, hi, Nicki and James. Hi, CF. How are you? Rob, same of the houses have hot water. Yeah. Yes, but in reality, it's not the norm. Yeah, it's not the norm to have hot water. We, as in this new property, we do have it, but we don't. Yeah, we don't use it. We don't. Seriously, you don't need it. It's
some days the water that comes out of the tap is like hot water,
Yeah.
and I think it's just from the sun heating the there must be a tank or the pipes.
Yeah.
The pipes in the ceiling being
Yeah,
heated through
yes,
the concrete.
but
It's
warm. I did start on the Russ's ask if we're here for a spiritual side. Is there a spiritual side to our venture? And I thought you would be.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love that answer. I did read that, and I did like. I wouldn't say I'm religious or spiritual in any sense, but I mean, at the same time, I am. I follow something, the Tao Te Ching, Stoicism, stuff like that. And I mean, life is a big spiritual experience. So, I mean, I am spiritual, but I'm not spiritual. But, it's the Tao.
Yeah, and it's also very much the way we live our life. In a way, we're grateful.
Yeah.
And I mean, is that
so something that we do is we believe in being able to manifest our lives, and we do that through something basically like we meditate regularly. I don't know if you've seen it on our socials, but we do visualization of what we would like. We ask for what we want. We live into that. It's amazing what comes out of it. Like we ask questions, like we set like goals. It's like goal setting. Basically, we're just taking it to another level and trying to engage our entire being into it, which is like we set a goal of we want to achieve this with what we're doing here, and we set a timeline of by the end of the month, and it happens within a week. We met the right person who gave us the opportunity to ask a question, and they said, I can do that. It's just like, what? And the next day they're signing us up with exactly what we asked for. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy. I mean, we're here because this is what is it? We're living into what we believe. And that's it. I mean, and if you fight living into what you believe, life's probably going to be more of a struggle than if you just, I don't know, do it.
No, I agree on that. Lorenzo, are we planning on the homestead, small home farming? I heard Earth is amazing. The colour of Earth here is incredible. The fruit trees that they grow are incredible. Definitely the veggies and stuff we're getting from the Mikados are amazing. So, yes, I love being able to go out and pick our own fruit and grow our veggies. So, absolutely, that will be something that we will. We don't need a big property for it, though. We've got a dream of a living pool. We don't, we've got the pool here, and it's at the moment the pool guys just left, and it's full of chlorine and full of not such nice chemicals. And we've really researched this about trying to create a pool that's living, and you don't need the chemicals. So having something like that with being able to feed the birds and all the other animals that need water. Is important, and then and that is also being able to go and pick your fruit and grow your veggies. One thing we did slightly touch on was the fact that there's not much recycling or composting here. So again, it's starting at worm farm and getting some feeding the soil even more would be really cool.
So there's a couple of things on that I want to jump on, but one of the things that we notice is a lot of the locals, they just burn their rubbish. Doesn't matter what it is. A lot of it's coconut husks, and but then at the same time they'll just throw all of their plastics in there as well. And to the Western world that seems crazy, but little do we know, in some places in the Western world like Japan, they literally burn everything as well, but they just do it at such a high heat, and they capture all the gases and then separate it out. So they've got a much more refined process than what they're doing here, sometimes literally on the side of the road. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think some people would compost. I mean, in a way, burning your coconut husks is a way of composting. It creates charcoal, and then you put it back in the land. So, I mean, it's just a different way of life. It's just, And there was something else, but I got so excited in the moment.
Carlos, hello guys. Welcome.
So, I guess with the homesteading thing. Yeah. So today we saw something on Facebook. Nikki found an offer on Facebook. This guy further east, east.
So towards the bottom of the country,
which is meant to be a lot hotter and more humid and everything. He's built this amazing house down there, and it's all like natural thatched roof and everything, and
beautiful wooden bench tops, all
Yeah, it looks
Stunning.
amazing. And so we've reached out to him just out of
Mm.
interest's sake, because it would be an amazing place to live
go
for a
and have
bit,
yeah.
even just to see what he's done. But like we were saying earlier to anyone who's joined us later, we don't know what it's like to live down there. We imagine it's going to be quite different to the environment here in terms of two things. One, like the temperature
Yeah.
and the humidity, and then two, access to services.
Yeah, that's important.
But we're interested in that stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
Great place. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Here we go. Right here. Basically, the rules and regulations are okay, and we have a pool that you can like walk straight out of the bedroom and fall in.
Mm.
In New Zealand, you would have to have a fence that's like over 1 meter high or something.
Yeah.
It's got to be 1.2 meter high. It's got to be like it's got to have all sorts of special safety latches and stuff like that. And just having a little prison in the middle of your courtyard here is quite different. So one of the things that we really like is that we have the opportunity to build what we want. I mean, we're not going to build anything dangerous or stupid, but at the same time, we're going to be able to build something that I don't know. It's just going to be a bit more natural, I guess. Lots of questions.
I know.
I missed so much.
Okay. Is there anything we miss about New Zealand? Maybe not yet. It's honeymoon period there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss family. You know, we do miss our family and friends. That's is quite a big one. Other than that, yet I can honestly. The ease of buying stuff.
Convenience.
Yeah, convenience. Okay, so we are really, we love our green smoothies in the morning. The spinach, the El Salvadoran spinach can't often come by to get to put in the green smoothies. So we decided to order online and get it from, what's the place in iHerb in America. Okay, so by the time it got freighted to us, the freight doubled.
So yeah, we bought a couple of cheap items just to test the system. We spent $15. Just the DHL freighting from America to El Salvador was $25. So we've almost doubled the cost of tripled the cost of the goods. And then when it arrived here, customs wanted to charge us another $15 for taxes, which was the cost of the goods.
Anyway.
And then there was another $10 shipping charge to get it from San Salvador or wherever it was, the airport, down to here. And it was just like, holy cow, these are the most expensive cheap supplements we've ever bought.
So yesterday we went on a drive to try and get, to find some more. And so that is, that's one thing. That's one thing that I think they miss, the ease of ordering something online and getting it. El Salvador doesn't have. I think most of those online products are coming from overseas, and we're going to have to pay duty on that. So that would be one thing. I do miss.
Just convenience. Like I wanted to buy a couple of monitors for work, and there's a bit of a global issue with getting some electronics anyway, but El Salvador, it's exacerbated. And stuff's available, but a lot of it's older. You don't have the range and selection and convenience. So be prepared if you want to import anything. So we had someone from another country asking us about, should I import stuff like a car? Because cars here are expensive and they're not great in terms of, they've all been, a large number of them have been thrashed. So the heat doesn't help either. So they wanted to import a vehicle, and then they thought, well, why don't I just fill a 40-foot container and also bring all of my stuff from my house? And I'm like, yeah, you really want to research that first, because customs are going to want to go through that entire container, and then they're going to want to charge you. They want to see receipts for stuff. They want to see full manifests, and they're going to,
I think importing a vehicle, and even bringing your own car, even though you own it, you're importing it. So there is going to be the import duty, which sounds like it's an expensive process to do.
So if you're thinking about that, research it, because we are glad. We were going to ship stuff to ourselves from New Zealand. We're so glad we didn't. So glad we didn't. Anyway.
Definitely. What things have we got here?
Greetings from Canada. We had a few Canadians. Did we meet a Canadian the other night?
They've contacted me anyway. If you would like suggestions on great places to visit, always Carlos and Lynn.
I want to go to Mayan pyramids.
Yes, love to go to the pyramids. I love the thought of finding the indigo places. I really want to go and find. I know El Salvador was apparently there's 2 indigo the old traditional way of doing indigo dyeing. That's something that I'd love to go and check out, as well as the cotton, the cotton factories and the cotton. That the fabrics and the textiles really interest me.
Yeah.
To do that. Yeah. Yes. So Carlos and Lynn, love to hear from you there with those.
Yep. Someone asked about certain costs of food. We pay like beer at the supermarket. I try to buy anything that's under $1 a vessel, and wine. You can get some great Chile wine, and from $7 to $15 a bottle. Is that sort of what we're paying?
Yeah.
Or do we pay
$5? No, 11.
$5,
Even 11. But we've got a nice rosé for it. That's actually from France.
Yeah,
but yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, great selection in certain places.
Yeah, definitely. Russ, out of curiosity, is Big Helly really strongly supported by most Salvadorans? This is an interesting question.
Very interesting. Right. So I would say generally yes. And then I'd say in terms of Bitcoin, it's controversial. And then the number of people that are benefiting from what he's doing is turning them.
Yes.
That would be the short answer.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it is the Bitcoin thing that people sort of stop and question. They don't know, and a lot of it is because they don't understand, and they don't understand it is what it can actually offer this country. I think is a big one. So most people we're finding, are really pro. Though the ones who aren't, and they're actually benefiting because of what he's doing, as James said, are actually turning to appreciate what he is offering and how he is building, the tourism here, the people coming here,
spending money.
It's seriously, the
Building
construction is huge. Like this subdivision we're in. I mean, I don't know, there would be maybe 10, 15 houses
that
are built, but there's just heaps empty sections. But there are seriously,
maybe
a lot of homes all around us that are getting currently built.
Yeah.
Down the road, there's a huge big property getting done.
Yeah.
Across behind us, there's a whole nother subdivision, and all the sections are sold. So it is. There's definitely a huge growth coming through.
We heard from a local that in the last 2 years, was it the prices have doubled? Or was it 1 year the prices have doubled? 1 year the prices doubled.
Yeah.
So, but you got to remember we're in a hot zone. Like this, from sort of like La Libertad going west to El Zonte, is a hot zone for foreigners. Like basically, if you're coming here and you're going to spend time between San Salvador and this beach district, you're not going to have any. Well, my experience so far is you're not going to have any problems because it's a high tourist area. Generally, it's going to be left alone in terms of, I guess, gang members. They've got their own areas and their own zones. So when we go to San Salvador, you drive into the wealthy part of the city first, and you don't even have to see the other side of the city. Yeah. And we haven't been over that side yet, and I wouldn't want to try and venture in there on my own. I have no idea, and I'm just some ignorant dude who's it would be scary for me. But generally now the areas that I've been, we're cool. There's no problem. And
it'll be interesting, down I think La Union, when they this is where this Bitcoin city is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see how that I'm intrigued to see how that's going to affect the local people there. I mean, apparently it isn't very it isn't very populated, but it will be interesting to see how that goes down that area.
So if you're like, we've come with the intention of, like, we sold everything and we came here with the intention to stay here, basically, because that was the easiest option on the table to go one way. We couldn't come for a little tiki tour, and if you've got the ability to come for a tiki tour, which is a New Zealand slang for a short trip, then do it. Check it out, because it is a shock. We had a shock. Not gonna lie, like
it was hard. The first couple of weeks was hard.
It was intense. But the more time we've spent here, the more people you meet. It's good.
All right, so we're coming on nearly an hour here, so really, love your questions. So thank you so much for coming on board and having a chat with us. And
thank you. Jason, I see you've just asked a question which we sort of answered earlier, but I'll give a real quick short answer to that, which was basically the social situation in New Zealand changed a lot, and that was I've been wanting to come to El Salvador as soon as Bukele basically said Bitcoin's going to be a currency. But then our social situation changed with all the COVID stuff. And yeah, that's what basically pushes over the edge. Yeah. So we're here for the lifestyle.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Now, Salvador is spectacular. Welcome to El Salvador. Thank you. Thank you all. You know,
thank you for your support.
Yep.
Love all the comments and the likes and the support and the
really
questions and the suggestions. It's great.
And please, you know, if you've got any other questions, send us a line. Or if you want to see something, send us a line and we will, carry on in our adventures.
Yes.
So,
lots of ideas and stuff to post. And we plan on doing this again. Regularly.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have an awesome weekend.
Yes.
Go do something fun. And cool.
That's good. All right. See ya. Bye.